Well, the Inspector General of Policing of Ontario has announced a province-wide inspection process aimed at reviewing all police services. It follows last week's stunning arrests of Toronto police officers stemming from a probe into corruption and organized crime. The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick has more on this inspection process that was announced earlier today.
Well, it is in response to that bombshell news that was revealed last week by York Police, which led the investigation, which led to the arrest of 7 current Toronto police officers, plus a retired police officer, plus more than a dozen other people. And in the wake of that, Toronto's Police Chief Myron Demke wrote a letter to the Inspector General asking him to launch this investigation. And in that letter, he did suggest that an investigation should go beyond Toronto Police, which is exactly what is going to happen. So Ryan Teschner, the Inspector General, saying that he is going to launch this province-wide probe. And he was talking a lot at this news conference that just wrapped up a little while ago here at Queen's Park about the need for public trust in policing. And when it's undermined, it can undermine public safety. And he said to rebuild public trust, you need to take action. It's not just about words. And so he will be launching this province-wide investigation, which will cover all 43 municipal police services in Ontario, plus the Ontario Provincial Police, plus a police service for a First Nation as well. It's going to cover 5 areas, 5 specific areas, including supervision and span of control. This will relate to how police officers are recruited in the first place, and then ongoing performance of police officers. How is that monitored? How are they supervised? It will that's to do with screening and vetting of officers. It'll also cover supervision and span of control, access to police databases and information systems, evidence and property management, and substance use and wellness support. So 5 key areas times 45 police services. It's a lot of work, but the Inspector General saying, again, it's required to rebuild public trust. Here's more of what he said at the news conference.
I think we need to do everything we can to ensure that our systems are as strong as possible to detect these instances in any case that they may manifest. Organized crime is insidious, and organizations are made up of people. And we have to ensure that our organizations are sufficiently strong to prevent and, where necessary, detect and intervene.
And he went on to say the good news here is that some issues were detected and uncovered, which led to the investigation and led to those arrests. Now, he said, given the scope of this province-wide inspection, he's actually going to appoint an external investigator to lead this. It will not be done by him personally. It will be done by someone else that will be brought in. Who that will be, we don't know. He said it will be someone that understands the world of policing. And in part, he made this decision to bring in someone else, partly because of the scope, but they want this to be the top priority and sole focus of this person specifically, rather than it being done within his office on top of all the other work that they're already doing.
And Megan, it certainly seems complicated, but also very overarching, a large investigation. How long might this take?
Really no idea. He wouldn't put any kind of timeline on how long this might take, but he did say his office wants to get this done as expeditiously as possible. Step number 1 will be hiring this external investigator. Then he or she will have to assemble their team to carry out this province-wide investigation, and it'll take them quite some time. He said at the end of the process, this person will prepare a report. Then Teschner will review it personally, and then he will decide whether there's been any non-compliance with any provincial laws that govern policing. He can then issue directions to individual police services, and he is pledging that all of that will be made public. So the final report will be made public, plus any directions that flow from it. And he also said if issues are uncovered along the way as the investigation is being carried out, go. They're not going to wait until the end when the report is finished to issue those directions. They might immediately take action and instructions and directions to police services to immediately correct any issues that are identified. He also did note that all of these police officers who have been charged, those cases now have to play out throughout the courts. And he was saying that their work within the Inspector General's office, there will be safeguards in place to ensure that their work doesn't interfere with any of that work and as those cases proceed. But bottom line here, Arthi, a massive probe being launched province-wide into dozens, really, of police services across this province.
CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick at the Ontario Legislature in Toronto. Thank you.